teaching studios of Shekinah Assembly International Churches, equipping with kingdom values for societal relevance. As you listen to expository teachings of God's Word by Reverend Vincent and Pastor Mercy Diolu, your path in life will shine brighter. Shekinah Assembly, bringing sons to glory, adding value to life.
Okay, how many of us know what is on for today? If you know the topic, scream it. It's only the choristers that know it. If you know the topic, scream it. 1, 2, go. Alright. There's a song that is dropping in my heart. I really want to worship you, my God. You are my heart, and I have yours. Forever and ever. Mark chapter 8, verse 24. Love you. You are the only one who died for me. Gave up your life to set me. Mark chapter 8, verse 24. So I lift my hands to you in adoration. I worship you, my God. You have won my heart and I have yours. Forever and ever I will know. Sing it like you mean it. You are the only one who died for me. Gave up your life to set me free. So I lift my hands to you in adoration. One more time, say, I really want to worship you, my Lord. You have won my heart and I have yours. Forever and ever, I will love you. Say, you are the only one who died for me. Gave up your life to set me free. And so I lift my hands to you in adoration. Have you ever come to a point where you feel like you have done everything you ought to do and you're still in the same spot? The month of March, our Father counted it as the month of fruitfulness, the month of multiplication, and the month of fruitfulness. And our text was coming from the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. It says, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth. It says, subdue it, have dominion. Have you come to a point where it looks like that scripture is really not making sense? It's not for you. I have a burden to move people out of ground 0 to ground 10. Whatever, and however you feel like moving, God really is intentional about changing your life. And this series is particular, especially for those who have prayed. You have prayed and you are praying, and it seems like nothing is working. What you're doing is not making sense. You've come to the end of your realm of consciousness and it's not seeming to work. God is bringing a different move and call it paradigm shift. It's a shifting. It's a bending. It's a going off the course of the normal trend. It's paradigm shift. We're going to be starting the service by reading a very long text, Mark chapter 8 from verse 1. We're going to be reading the text together in joy and its anticipation, with readiness of heart and singleness of thoughts. I'd like you to focus on it and make sure that you are really, really conscious of what you're reading. I want to go. In those days, the multitude being very great and had nothing to eat. And Jesus called the disciples, can you open up your mouth and read it as though you were alive? 1, 2, go. In those days, the multitude being very great and having nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples unto him and said unto them, verse 2, I have compassion on the multitude, because they have now been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. Verse 3, and if I send them away fasting to their own house, they would faint by the way, for divers of them came from afar. And his disciples answered him, from whence can a man satisfy his men with bread here in the wilderness? And he asked them, how many loaves have you? And they said, 7. And he commanded the people to sit down on the ground. Drop the voice now. And he took the 7 loaves and gave thanks and prayed and gave to his disciples to set before them. And he did set them before the people. Verse 7. And they had a few small fishes, and he blessed and commanded to set them also before them. Verse 8. So they did eat and were filled, and they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets. 1 minute, can you use NLT? Is there the NLT translation? Alright, can you put me to the NLT translation so I will enjoy the scriptures from there? Beautiful. Now let's go, continue. They ate as much as they wanted. Afterwards, the disciples picked up 7 large baskets of leftover food. Verse 9. There were about 4,000 people in the crowd that day, and Jesus sent them home after they had eaten. Amazing Jesus. Immediately after this, he got into a boat with his disciples and crossed over to the region of Dalmanuta. Okay? When the Pharisees heard that Jesus had arrived, they came and started to argue with him, testing him. They demanded that he would show them a miraculous sign from heaven to prove his authority. The next verse. Verse 12. And when he heard this, he sighed deeply in his spirit and said, why do these people keep demanding a miraculous sign? I tell you the truth, I will not give this generation any such sign. Verse 13. So he got back into the boat and left them, and he crossed to the other side of the lake. Verse 14. But the disciples had forgotten to bring any food. They had only 1 loaf of bread with them in the boat. Verse 15. As they crossed the lake, Jesus warned them, watch out. No. Take it again. And Jesus warned them, how? Watch out. Yeah. Beware of the yeast of the Pharisee and of Herod. The next verse. And these they began to argue with each other because they hadn't brought any bread. The next verse. And Jesus knew what they were saying. So he said, why are you arguing about having no bread? Do you know? Don't you know or understand even yet? Are your hearts too hard to take it in? The next verse. You have eyes, can't you see? You have ears, can't you hear? Don't you remember anything at all? Next verse. When I fed the 5,000 with 5 loaves of bread, how many baskets of leftover did you pick up afterwards? 12, he said. The next verse. 7, they said. Verse 21. Don't you understand yet? He asked them. Good. When they arrived at Bethsaida, some people brought a blind man to Jesus, and they begged him to touch the man and heal him. The next verse. And Jesus took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village, and then spitting on the man's eye, he laid his hands on him and asked him, can you see anything now? And verse 24, which is our last verse, corrected. The man looked around and said, yes. He said, I see people, but I can't see them very clearly. They look like trees. They look like what? Trees. Father, bless your word, cause us to understand, bring us to a revelation. Blessed be your holy name. In Jesus' awesome name we pray. A paradigm shift. A paradigm shift. This text is going to be forming the basis from which we're going to be speaking all through the next 6 weeks, and we're going to be seeing how that Jesus spent most of his time trying to open up people's eyes to a different dimension. And if you miss it this morning, you're going to miss it completely, because I'm going to be laying the foundation from which we're going to be teaching the paradigm shift, how you can change your life. How really can I change my life? What exactly can I do to change my life? Your ultimate outward expression or your outward outcome is a product of everything that is within. Nothing changes outside until everything changes inside. The outside ultimately is a product of your mind vision, is a product of what you're seeing within inside. It's not just what is outside. People come to Jesus and the first things they try to say is, bless me, give me a job, give me a car, give me a house, give me something. But it's not about give me, because the truth is, as soon as it's given to you, you will lose it because you will reduce back to who you are. You grow inside first before you grow outward. And so if you read that text, all that Jesus was trying to do was to ask them a question. Don't you understand? How come I've been with you and you still don't get it? They had bread. And then if you read the King James, which explains it a little bit better, he says, be aware, beware of the leaven of the Pharisee. The moment he said it, they thought that what he was talking about was bread. They were still very carnal-minded, but what Jesus was talking about was not bread. Jesus was talking about a character, an attitude. He was talking about a personality. He was talking about an inward thing, but they were talking about the physical thing, which is the body. So they thought that Jesus was referring to bread. So maybe more to, he says, beware of the cars of the Pharisees, and they're like, okay, maybe he doesn't want us to have a car. No, he was talking about their attitude, their patterns, their behavior. And so it brings me to the understanding, what is paradigm? Paradigm from the English Woodford dictionary says it's a pattern, it's a model, it's a group of ideas about something, anything, the way it should be done. It's the make of the thinking of something, how it should be done, how it should be made, or how it should be talked about. It's a pattern. It's like, no, you're saying it's a paradigm. That's my paradigm. It's like saying that's my phronesis, that's my mindset. That's a paradigm. Another dictionary says it's defined as a system of assumption, of concepts, of values, of practices. It says that constitutes the way of viewing reality. A paradigm simply means the lens through which you see life. Are you here with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you here with me?
Yes, sir.
Church, are you here with me?
Yes, sir.
All of us seated down here, there is a lens from which we see life. And we see from the different points of view. We don't see life from the same point of view. We see life differently, and it has affected our totality or our outcome in the whole sense. And so some people say this person is more successful than this other person. It's not exactly, it's because of the way you're getting success. What exactly then is success? And so when you know what it means, that what is my life about, the way you think will adjust. Paradigm is a thinking pattern, the way you perceive everything, the way you constitute. I know some ladies who say all men are the same, all men are alike. It's a paradigm, it's a mindset. And that's how the woman at the well felt until she met a man called Jesus. For the first time, no man had spoken with her without talking about her body. And she met a man called Jesus who never made mention of her body or her skirt or how she looked or how her shape was. And she said, is this man still living? Angie, do you know who I am? Do you know me? She couldn't, for the first time, she couldn't understand. It was her paradigm. Her paradigm was that everybody, every man wants to take advantage of you. But for the first time, she met a man who was willing to give her. Then she ran out into the city and said, come see a man. Her paradigm changed. There was a shift. It's a way of thinking that can occasionally lead to a misleading predisposition. It's the way to which everybody sees everything. Lastly, it can be defined as a philosophy of life. A philosophy of life. It's a pattern, it's a model, a group of ideas about something. But then, what then is a paradigm shift? Many years ago, a certain scientist, in the person of Thomas Kuhn, wrote a book about scientific revolution, and he was trying to do an experiment, and he wrote something very critical about paradigm shift. And he said that a paradigm shift actually is a shifting of approach or assumption because a new information has come in. when something hits a system, a new thing comes into a place, suddenly it rumbles the way people have always thought about the same thing. Then he called it a paradigm shift. That means a cultural thinking has turned upside down. The way people view things have changed. The way you were thinking before has automatically changed. And so he called it a paradigm shift. And he gave a classical example, which is the picture of the dog. Come on, put up the picture of the dog. He looked at the picture of the dog and he says, give me the picture of the dog again. And when everybody looked at the picture of the dog, they actually saw a dog. They saw a dog. Okay, when you look at it closely in the beginning, they almost took it as a dog. But then, the more intently you begin to look at it, the more you begin to notice that you are now seeing a rabbit. It's no more a dog. It's on the reverse. It's now a rabbit. It means that from the angle to which we're seeing it was not the entire picture that was there. There was more that was there. Sometimes people meet God and say, there's nothing more about God. What will God offer me? And it's all about serving. But then you don't know that God is more about more things. There's so much more God wants to do for you. But because your paradigm or your understanding has not opened up, and you think that God is all about taking from you, you don't know that God is a plus, He's our advantage. The Holy Ghost is our benefit. Because your paradigm has not changed. And so he was beginning to talk about the paradigm shift and how important it is. Let me help you a little bit about what paradigm shift is. Many years ago, there was something called the genetic coding. The genetic coding is the DNA. When the DNA came into the scientific world, listen and listen carefully. When DNA came into the scientific world, it was just seen as knowing the basic components of the human cell. That was all about it. Those who did the DNA or the coding did not think about other things. But the introduction of the new information, which is the DNA, all that, the revolution of many other things, come across medicine, come across even criminal justice. That, can I tell you something? That even new cases have to be retried again after they have been found somebody not guilty. But because of the reintroduction of DNA, now they can see clearly more who did what and who didn't do what. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Forensic medicine became easier and better. Why? Because a genetic coding, DNA, has come out. The original intent of the DNA or genetic coding was not for criminal justice, but because of this new information, it has disrupted the way at which things and people do what they do. Are you understanding what I'm saying? It affected not only the medical world, it affected the like I just said, the criminal justice or the law, the legal system. It went ahead to, in the medical world, before now, people couldn't just give blood or take blood. But after the DNA, after these things were being checked, then people can do what we call kidney transplant, organ transplant. They can know who will match for what. It changed the whole platform of the medical field. People cannot be healthy. Diseases that were turned incurable were now curable. Why? Because it was possible to give organs, vital organs to people, and they will survive because of an introduction of a new concept called genetic coding. That at that point was paradigm shift. What people called was impossible became possible. Before many years ago, in the 1990s and 1980s, there was nothing like the World Wide Web. I remember in 2000 when we were saying our year of 2K compliance, are you 2K compliant? How many of you experienced that period? Are you 2K compliant? Thank you, sir. It was a regular slang, and people were teasing each other. And I remember then people were carrying flash. Flash was like an identity that you are 2K compliant, a hanging of the flash on your neck. And when you check that flash, it's not even up to 1 MB, maybe some MB, some 18 MB as it were. And very amazing how people want to store data and they'll have to put it in a large room. That was where data room is. Or you go walk into offices and you're going to see large files and cabinets of documents or filing system. People have to go to school to learn how to file. That was a professional course. They will come to school, learn how to file systems and properties, and then they were working up until the World Wide Web came out, the www, and then it changed automatically how people sent information, how people read things, how people communicated, how people did businesses, how people posted things. Now you don't have to stand on the queue to post things. Just with a click, you will send a mail down to the US and back, and that automatically changed everything on the business end. by the introduction of the World Wide Web. Later on, we hear of the internet. The internet became like a joke as the internet began to spring up and spring up. Nowadays, nobody needs to go to the TV when you say, I run a TV program, and everyone looking for you on NT or the billboard. No, I can actually stay on my phone and watch your TV program, because now it has changed the pattern to which people do events, do stars, and people can become popular overnight just by doing something I saw over the internet. It had changed the way people began to do things. It was a paradigm shift. You needed to be so big and wealthy before you become important, before you become known everywhere. No, all you need to do was to do something important on the social media, being able to galvanize and put together all of the brands, and before you know it, you become the top of everywhere in a split of seconds. That was a paradigm shift. The way people do things began to change. Because initially, what they saw was a dog. But later on, they realized that there was more than a dog. It was a rabbit. The last but not the least, in the paradigm shift, is also in the religious sector or in the Bible sector. In the days, I remember Paul, when Paul came in, Paul in the book of Colossians was arguing and was not happy with the way people perceived him. The apostles perceived him differently. And Paul began to expound to them this gospel that has been released unto you. And he was sharing with them. And then at one point he told Peter, and after they had scrutinized him, they now began to realize that the same God that worked mightily in Peter to the Jews, which is the original gospel that they know, now worked tremendously powerful to the Gentiles through Paul. For the first time, Peter was called to go and preach to a Gentile nation. It was a paradigm shifting. Nowhere ever written has the Jew have anything to do with the Gentile. No way. They don't cross paths. But God wanted to break a barrier. God brought in an introduction of a new information. And Peter now makes mention of it in Acts of the Apostles chapter 11. It says, while I was speaking, the Holy Ghost came upon them as it did upon us in the beginning. That means that the way to which they saw things changed. If you're with me, somebody. The paradigm shift is shifting your concept, your understanding, your mind, everything begins to turn around. And you know what, this is very particular for me, because sometimes you may have come to the ends of your past, of your consciousness, and you need something more. And so there is so much more to be seen. And so the text that we just read was the text where Jesus was just trying to explain to the disciples the meaning of the leaven, that he wasn't talking about the leaven of the Pharisee. He was trying to introduce to them a new concept. And guess what? While he was still introducing the concept, a man walks into the scene. This man was said to be blind, was not really seen. And then Jesus laid his hands upon him. The Bible said Jesus took him outside the camp, which is outside the culture, outside the understanding of people. But then the culture had not left him. He took him out of the environment. The environment did not leave him. Despite that, in Mark chapter 8 verse 24, Bible says, as he laid hands on him and asked him, are you seeing clearly? The man says, well, I can see. But guess what he was seeing? He wasn't seeing human beings. He was seeing men walking as trees. If Jesus had left him to go that way, the man would have gone on the way and keep seeing people like trees and relating to them as trees, because that's the orientation from where he's coming from. And when you see him acting, you begin to wonder, why is this man treating human beings like trees? It's because of how he's seeing it. If Jesus didn't ask him how you're seeing, the brother would have just gone and said, I can see. But what can you see is the important thing. It's not just that you can see, it is the way you see what you see. It's not that you can just see things, it's the way you're seeing what you're seeing. It's the shifting of your mind, the paradigm shift. And so talking about religion, in later on, after Paul brought in a new dimension of the gospel, another man in many years ago, in the name of Martin Luther King himself, walked and knocked on the doors of the Catholic Church and began to confront things that they were doing. Things like patterns, Things like what was the second place they put people in outside hell? Was this purgatory? Many doctrines. He began to confront them and was talking about justification by faith, that nobody can bring people out of hell. He began to confront the way people see scriptures, that only the priests can read the scriptures. Oh no! He began to confront the paradigm, and that was what brought a dimension that all of us now see today. That's why we now have access, because somebody brought in a new revelation that changed the way to see. It can be explained like wearing the sunglasses on a sunny day. The roads are the same, the ground is the same, everything is the same, but the way in which you see them differ. It changes your perception about life. And when people begin to talk to you, they either talk to you from the higher realm or from the lower realm. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Because there is a paradigm shift. And when God wants to help a person, one of the first things he does is to change his paradigms. When God meets a man, the first things he does is to chop off, break down all his thinking, all his paradigms, and he reintroduces something new. That's why he says you cannot put a new wine in an old wineskin. He said, why? Because after a while it's going to burst. He said, but first you have to take the old wine and the new wine and put it in a new wineskin. What's the new wineskin? Your internal. Your internal. Many of you seated down here cannot even think of having a business of what 100 or maybe 100 people. Yesterday I was talking to a friend and she said her private company where she works in hires about 6,000 staff. I turned with speed. I said, what? 6,000 people by one man? I'm going to have that kind of business. Say, no, what is that? They belong. I say, it doesn't matter. I don't have to belong to be able to hire. Why? There's an understanding that I have. If God doesn't change that paradigm, it will be difficult for him to pour a new wine into an old wineskin. You may be born again sitting down, but one of the first things that must change is your paradigm of shifting. Not shifting. The story reminds me of a person. His name was Peter. The Bible writes in the book of just so I don't forget. That's the man called Peter. Yes. Matthew chapter 14, from verse, if you read some parts, Matthew chapter 14. This man called Peter, they were in a boat. Jesus had sent them forth. Jesus had sent them forth onto the other side. Listen carefully. And when Peter and the boat, as they were in that little boat, there was a storm. The storm was raging so hard that Peter, they began to scream, where is Jesus? And for the first time, Jesus was not with them. He was somewhere else. While they were still discussing, they meet a man on the waters. Everybody's spirit is bad enough that the storm is coming on us. Now we see a ghost. It must be a ghost. John holds his brother James so they will die. Oh, what will tell mommy? Mommy told us to stay in the house. He said no one to follow this man. Now he has taken us on a journey that is about to end our lives. What a mess. And then everybody was panicking. Suddenly, that voice began to speak. And then Peter looked through the storm and heard that voice, and it made sense. He struck God in his inner mind and he said, that must be Jesus. I said, yes, it's that. And the first thing Peter says, oh Jesus, thank you for coming to rescue. Come. That's not what Peter said. Peter said, if it is you, Lord, bid me to come. Listen, the problem many times is that people may be comfortable with the familiar. They are okay with the what they've always known. Their previous experiences have formed the paradigm for them. And because of their experiences, they now have they've formulated a mindset around themselves. And nothing can change it. Not even the pastor, not even the Holy Ghost. Sometimes they will need 2 Holy Ghosts and 3 Holy Ghosts to change what they've always known. Because they just have been stuck with what they're in church many years and their life is not changing. Because they have stayed on that same thing for a long time. But now Peter is different. He says, look, I know I have experiences in fishing. I know that when there's a storm, the boat is the most comfortable place to stay. I know that when there are are issues in life, you've got to hold the familiar, else you're finished. But now I'm willing to step out from the familiar to the unfamiliar. I'm willing to change my mindset from the little boat to the ocean of possibilities. I don't know where I'm going, but I know that there's something there. If Jesus is there, then I'm willing to go. So I'm going to step out of my comfort. I'm going to leave all the boat stayers. I'm going to leave all the people that like the little thing, and I will go right into the ocean. That was what he said. The moment he did that, even though the Bible still paints the picture that he sank later, but I want to tell you one thing. There was something that happened in the mind of Peter after he took courage and stepped out into the unknown, and he came back. His mind didn't come back. It was not at the same level. Why? There was now a capacity. Because now there's a shifting, 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 there's a shifting in his thoughts, in the way he sees things. Now Peter for the first time has the experience of walking on water. There is nothing you will tell him anymore that he will doubt it, because he has left the level of comfort to the level of discomfort. I know I'm preaching this here today. I'm not talking to people who want to take as boat stayers. Listen, if you like a pastor that is a boat stayer, then I'm going to step on your toes. I like to talk to people who want to dive into the ocean. Pastor, I don't know it before, but if you're saying we should do it, then I'll do it. If this is what God is saying, I will do it, because that's the new realm. If you're a boat staying person, don't marry an ocean person. If you're an ocean person, you better don't marry a boat staying person, because you will fight every time. You will always have. Because when the Lord is saying one thing, the Lord will tell the ocean person one new thing. There's a paradigm shifting. But the boat stayer is saying, no, this is how we've always done it. This is what the principle says. But God is not the God of laws and principles. He's a progressive God. He's a timely, he's a boundless God. Have you listened to what I'm saying? If you're hearing what I'm saying, can I hear an amen? It's a paradigm shifting. What fallen is down. But funnel it down. You know what a funnel is? A funnel is anything that can take something very large and narrow it until it gets very small. But funnel it down. My question is, are you willing to change your mind? I may be talking to you now, but I know who I came for. I came for people who are willing to make a shift, but the shift doesn't come the way you expect it. The shift comes when only you can open up your heart and keep looking at the door intently until the door will change to a rabbit. You know, listen to me. You may never blame the people who take the dog and say that is all there is. Don't blame them, because that's all they can see. But listen to me, when you're willing to look more closely and more intently, more personalized, please put up that picture again. You will then realize that it's not a dog, it's now a rabbit. God has moved, God has changed. The way he does things has moved. He's still the same God, but he has different dynamics and mechanisms. Listen, two things happen to the viewers in a paradigm shift. The first thing that happens to them is you've got to be choosing either to stay in your comfort, not do things differently, or break protocols and get into a ground that you have no idea about. For the first time when I put up Medview Mobile, when I put it up on the internet, after God had created the idea for close to 4 months, I was praying about it, and you kept saying you're going to start administering medical services to people privately and passionately, and you've got to create a platform because people will be rushing you. And I said, Lord, it's never been done. The only thing that's been done is ambulance service. He said, no, I didn't call you ambulance service. Like, you are not even an ambulance. I called you a medical mobile. I called you a mobile medicine, administering care and help to people at the distance of the call, in their convenience. And so I saw that, either at their convenience or over a call, over a phone, whatever, the fastest way they could reach you, you could administer it at a token. He said, put it up and begin to solve problems at the local level. And then I said, dear Lord, that's going to happen. So when I was done, I put it together. The first time I put it on the internet, I got even my colleagues shout at me, will you pull down that stuff? How dare you make medicine very cheap and easy? If people need medical help, they'll come to you. They'll come to your office. If you don't know what to do, set up an office. Bring them to your office. That's the best. People need to pay for their medical treatment. I said, shut up. People go to the chemist and collect drugs without even consulting you. How dare you say I shouldn't take my medicine? And what I know best to their houses, I will do it nevertheless. You know why? Because many times people want to stay with the familiar. They want to stay where things are normal. They are afraid of stepping into the unknown. They don't want to move from the familiar to the unfamiliar. It's a risky thing to go to your family. But listen, if you are led by God, you will do something that nobody has ever done. And you will be the first and the best. Can I hear an amen? Amen. There's always a choice to make. Whether to stay in the realm of the familiar or to move into the realm of God. And when you do that, that's a paradigm shift. That's a mind shift. That's a cultural shift. The shift happens from within, and over time it begins to express itself from the without. You will never be afraid of God injecting new ideas into your mind. You will never be afraid of God stirring up everything in your mind. You know, I noticed everything that was created twice. The first place of creation was the mind. There's nothing that ever exists that never existed in the mind of a man. Oh, brothers and sisters, she gave a testimony today, Joanne, of how they won some souls in a lesson. How they preached the gospel and souls were won. And guess what? Can I tell you a shocking news? This guy is my friend. 4 years ago, I met him on the road. We schooled together in primary school. And I looked at him and I said, look, how are you doing? And we shared and we talked. And then I told him the Lord is doing something with me. Let's work together. He said, okay, he will work with me for a period, but not for too long because he's already somewhere, but he wants to help me. And I said, okay, no problem. And he began to help me. He was a keyboardist. He came to play the keyboard once in a while with us. And we moved from where we were to where we are now. They're not as large as this was very little. And so he will come on a Sunday morning and play the much he could play, and we'll all be excited. And one of the services, the Holy Ghost started transmitting wire. Then he was teaching in a private lesson somewhere around the quarter roundabout. He was a teacher there and was earning whatever it is he was earning. And then he said to me in that meeting that the Lord is asking him to start a lesson. And I said to him, so what are you waiting for? He said, I said, the Lord is saying to you, start the lesson. What are you waiting for? And then I remember I was walking down this aisle, this area, looking for an available hall. But he told me, he said, this place is a bit secluded. I need somewhere within the space where students can come. And then this guy began to craft it out. Guess where he found this idea? In service. He was in a service like this. As the word of God was coming, I didn't know that what God was revealing to him was a shift in paradigm. It was a shift in his mindset. That you can only not teach, you can start becoming an owner of teachers and begin to have many. And the last I heard now in 2 years now is that he now has close to over 200 students in this facility. Even larger than the pastor that commissioned. My question is, what if you wanted to stay in the realm of familiarity? What if you wanted to do the regular things? Oh no, this is the kind of job that I want. And then somebody saying, why don't you do this? Because you never can tell. I know it's not a structured thing that you know, but no, get into it first. Because you can never tell. And that's what has brought the change. Every change comes with a destruction. You may have a destruction in your life right now, but it's a shifting. God is shifting you. God is turning you. But it's you that will take advantage of it, because not every storm is come to scatter you. Some storms is there to expose things. Not every storm is come to put you out of balance. Some attention. Your mind must be open. Your mind must be open. A part of that shift. The way of your thinking. I'll close it with this. I'm going to be taking series and a series of areas where God wants to empower that shift. The first one I'm going to be talking about today is success. From next week, we're going to be talking about finance, we're going to be talking about many other things. But today, I'm going to be talking about success. What have many people define success as? Some people say success is your ability to reach your goals, your defined goals. But no, success is not your ability to reach your defined goals. Success is God's plan. It's not the achievement of your goals. It is adequately defined as the achievement of God's goals for your life. That means you can only say you're successful when you have hit God's goal. Amazingly, you were born with a goal. And your agenda is to fulfill the goal. It's not your goal. If not, the man in Luke chapter 12, the man that the Bible says that he was successful, he had everything, and he said to himself, now I have everything, I will build up my barns, I will expand it, I will make more room, and I will say to my soul, eat and relax. The Bible says that night, what do you do? The man had hit his goals, but that was not God's goal. Sometimes you see people on the road, they say, oh, that guy is successful. That's not it. Success is not at one point. Success is progressive. It's a continuous journey. It means that you can be successful in your secondary school, and then be successful in your university, and then be successful in your adulthood, be successful in your marriage. Just when you get married, you can become successful at your older age. These are different levels. But you know what the beautiful thing about it? If you're successful at your primary school, you're sure going to be successful in your secondary school. If you become successful in your secondary school, you're sure going to be successful in your university. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Chuck, are you listening to what I'm saying? It's not because success becomes success. You are not success at one point and then that's the end. No. Whenever you reach a certain height and you feel a level of fulfillment and success in your spirit, there's a desire to want to progress more. There's not even the things. And you know what? This success is not about what you have. It's about who you are. The success is not about what you have. That's the shifting. If you get this shifting, listen to me. I have to lay a foundation of paradigm shifting so that you understand it. If you get this shifting, you will change, your life will change. The trouble many of us have is that we are racing about what we have. Please give me John chapter 3. We are racing about what we have and what we want to do. John chapter 3 from verse 2. The process is the issue. It's the process I want to show you. And then this man was talking about the results. He says, I know that you are a miracle worker. Show us the way. Show us the sign. And Jesus said to him in verse 3, I tell you the truth, except a man be born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. The man said, excuse me, are you trying to say that before I can do all these things you're doing, I have to be born of my mother's womb again? The man found it difficult. But if I were him, maybe I would have accepted that option and said, okay, if I'll be born a second, then no problem. I will be born by your mother. Because it looks like your mother is the better way to be born. If you can be doing this thing and you say the only way is to be born again, he couldn't have argued it, but he argued it in his mind. And Jesus was talking about nature. He was talking about personalities. Why? He knew that everything flows from inside to outside. Oh yes, sir. People don't change because you gave them money. People change because they change inside. Are you listening to what I'm saying? The real change is evidently inside. I've never seen any man who became something because they gave him he won $1 million contract. More often than not, it will only increase the amount of years he will stay in lack. Because when he gets into excess spending, he goes into more debt because he has a feeling that he's something whereas he's nothing. But what Jesus was trying to establish is that except a man he cannot get. Are you listening to what I'm saying? So it means that the heart of the matter is the matter of the heart. Where the real issue is the heart. So, now, if you're trying now to become successful, your job is not to try to control the things that you don't have power over. An example, if you don't have power over the weather, over the elements. You don't have power over it. If you don't have power over people's opinion, you don't have power. People will think whatever they feel like thinking. Jesus didn't get angry. All he was trying to find out was, what do you say that I am? Not about what people felt. He didn't bother himself because that would lead to frustration. The real success is focusing on the things that I have the power to change and changing them. Example is attitude, an example is character, an example is mindset, an example is my thoughts, an example is my actions. When I can change the things that I have power over, then success is close. So the first step of being successful, it says that the change of nature. That's where I close it. You cannot become what God really wants you to become if there's no paradigm shift in your spirit. A change of nature. Oh yes, sir. Nature is a cap on your limits, on the things you can do. The first law of change is to change within. It's part of that slide. The change of nature. The next slide. I said that in the law of nature, kind begets kind. God, if you change your nature, you have the character of God, you have the nature of God. The Bible says, it says, and He has given us partakers of His divine nature. Second Peter, partakers of His divine nature. God gives breath to us. It means that what God can do, you can do it. So if you really want to change, if you want things to change, the first law is not trying to get things. The first law is trying yourself to change your nature. Because you see, when you have a certain nature, there is a limit to what you can do. I told you before that chimpanzees, when they look at us, they feel like we're miracle workers. Why? They see us build skyscrapers. I've never seen a chimpanzee build a tent over his head. Never. He does not have the capacity to do it. Why? He's a chimpanzee. The best he can do is to jump from trees to trees. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Why? Because he has the nature of a chimpanzee. The moment I change my nature, the first thing that alters in my life is my capacity to do. You want to be rich? It's not by chasing money. No. It's by changing your nature first. You get the capacity to begin to do like God. Because God is your Father. He pours in you His Spirit. And then you become like Him. You start behaving like Him. So when people begin to say, I'm successful, you're not going to say to them, oh, I'm not successful. Because you look at your circumstance and your circumstance devours what you say. No, your circumstance is not a proof of who you are. You are a proof. In a short while, you will change.
I'm sure you've been blessed by this message. For more of these life-transforming messages or for further inquiry, you could reach us at Shekinah Assembly 1@gmail.com or 080-6239-5359. You could also log on to www.shekinah.assembly.org. Stay blessed.